I am Dr. Neelam, and I bring greetings from the pink city of Jaipur. So my talk today is not on any disease or syndrome, but it is on menopause, a public health priority, and it is time to take a national action. So why public health programs should step up and address menopause in India? Thank you. Many of the reasons we know. And why does menopause matter now? It is because India has more than 103 million menopausal women, more than 140 million women more than 45 years old. Life expectancy has increased, and we spend more than one-third of lives post-menopause. This shift demands a reorientation of our health priorities from a narrow reproductive stage to a broader lifespan approach to women's health. Yet, menopause remains one of the most neglected public health issues despite all these facts. What are the main points or the differences that are in India about menopause? The average age of menopause we know is 46.2 years, much earlier than the Western people. And the thing which has not been highlighted much is the premature menopause, because according to NFHS 5 survey, 14.7% of women were already menopausal from within the age span of 30 to 49 years, indicating early reproductive aging in Indian women. Also, the surgical menopause because of hysterectomies performed for fibroids and AUB, low income, low education, insomnia, deprived quality of life, female sterilization, these all contribute to premature menopause. Also, according to WHO, India contributes significantly to the global pool, which is increasing of menopausal women. Yet, menopause remains under-recognized, under-researched, and underserved within the national programs. And why India needs national action? Because India is multi-ethnic, multicultural, multi-religious, and this composition of the population highlights inequity and the need for targeted therapy. Also, there is a rural-urban divide. In rural population, menopause is hardly discussed and is generalized as a normal aging process. This was a paper published for the prevalence of menopausal symptoms and its effect on the quality of life among rural middle-aged women 40 to 60 years old of Haryana. And the menopausal symptoms were found to be 87.7%. Majority had anxiety, physical and mental exhaustion, sleep problems, irritability, joint and muscular discomfort, and hot flushes came the last. And this was a paper published in Journal of Midlife Health, and menopause-related quality of life was studied in urban women of Hyderabad, and here vasomotor and sexual domains came the last. The public health burden of non-communicable diseases in India. There is a high burden of this preventable morbidity of NCDs, osteoporosis, fragility factor because of low calcium intake in youth and later lack of exercise, CVDs, diabetes, hypertension, central obesity, metabolic syndrome, and the mental health and GUSM. These all affect the menopausal health, and so menopause is not just a physiological transition, it is a multi-system health transition. Then comes the burden of cancers. The common cancers, breast, cervix, ovary, endometrium, and also the oral cancer, because orodental issues, because of the national habit of tobacco and areca nut chewing, adds to the problem of periodontitis and osteoporotic jaws after menopause. So menopause is a critical intervention window for not only NCD prevention, but also pre-cancers and cancers. In urban India, more women are part of the workforce. Menopause often coincides with the peak career years. Menopause, investing in menopause can reduce fracture burden, prevent CVD events, maintain workforce productivity, prevent midlife care. Preventive midlife care is more effective than late-stage disease management. Public figures like Sudha Murthy have recently spoken about menopause openly and advocating national workplace policy. Globally, the UK has developed national menopause workplace guidelines. Australian firms integrate menopause into wellness programs. India can adapt these models, conceptualizing them to local needs. Now, recently, this issue was raised in Lok Sabha, and the Minister of Women and Child Development this question was raised to Minister of Women and Child Development, whether the ministry is considering to introduce a menopause policy for women employees working in public and private sector. If so, the details. Whether the ministry proposes to roll out such a policy within the next year. If so, the details, and if not, the time by which it is likely to be introduced. The current provisions in the government and private offices to increase awareness towards women-related issues like menopause. So, the answer by Srimati Smriti Zubin Irani on 8/12/2023 was that currently there is no menopause policy for women employees in government and private sectors. Also, letters were addressed to Mansukh Mandviya ji, the health minister, and DGHS chairman, Shri Atul Goyal. And it was seen that in 2026 till date, menopause is not yet a separate priority with its own dedicated comprehensive policy in India. It currently falls under NHM, National Health Mission, and non-communicable disease frameworks. These do not integrate menopause care protocols, as most current labor and health policies address maternity but overlook menopause. There is a quote by Naomi Osaka: you just got to keep going and fighting for what you want, and one day you will get to where you want. So what are the key government initiatives and policy directions in 2025-26? And it is very encouraging. Latest is that of January 29, 2026. In Kerala budget 26-27, a fund of rupees 3 crore for starting menopause clinics in district hospitals has been started. Then service delivery for menopause. Maharashtra has launched first government menopause clinics, and they are at 510 district hospitals. And this is for urban facilities specifically to support women's and mental health during this life stage of menopause. Then the Ayushman Arogya Mandirs. They are the sub-health centers and PHCs which were formerly called health and wellness clinics under Ayushman Bharat scheme. And these are over 1.8 lakh Ayushman Arogya Mandirs that are operational across India free of charge. And they provide screenings for the 5 common NCDs, including cervical and breast cancer. And these provide early identification, basic management, and counseling for health issues related to aging and hormonal changes. What are the awareness modules that have been started by the Union Government of India? The first is Central Health Education Bureau under the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. And this is called the Swasth Nari Sashakt Parivar Abhiyan. And the first was conducted on 6th August 2024, navigating menopause. And these are the photographs which were, this was done in Pragati Maidan, Delhi. Then comes Mile Sune Kahe on navigating, why the photo is not coming, I don't know. Navigating menopause, empowering women for healthier transition. Next is the poster that was released for Swasth Nari Sashakt Parivar, and self-care today ensures healthy aging tomorrow. Hormonal changes after menopause increase the risk of all these, and healthy lifestyle is the best medicine for the awareness program. Now, awareness modules by National Commission for Women. This was again the picture that was for Menomind, and the National Commission for Women launched Menomind, Menopause Matters, So Does Mind, in July 2025 to raise awareness. And this was in collaboration with the Rising India Research Foundation. And Menomind refers to expert-guided workshops focusing on managing weight, energy, and mental well-being through practical protocols. Ministry of Ayush initiatives. Also, integrated treatment protocols have been started by Ayurvedic interventions that complement modern medicine to manage symptoms such as hot flushes, insomnia, anxiety, joint pains. And this is called the menopausal syndrome or the Rajo Nivritti Janya Lakshan Samuchay. And formulations as Ashoka Rishta, Lodhavrasa, and Amalika Rasayan to support hormonal balance and bone health during and after menopause, and yoga practices like Setu Bandhasan, Vipreet Karni, and Shitli Pranayam to manage hot flushes. And this was again a picture that was taken for Ministry of Ayush and Government of India on 18 November 2025, and MOU was signed between Central Ayurvedic Research Institute and Vardhaman Mahavir Medical College and Safdarjung Hospital, New Delhi. Karnataka has taken the lead, and in collaboration with private sector initiatives has begun training over 3,000 ASHA workers to help rural women identify and manage menopausal symptoms. Collaboration with Indian Menopause Society. The government partners with the IMS to develop evidence-based unique guidelines to tailor to the demographic and physiological profile of Indian women. In 2026, IMS guidelines emphasize early intervention, holistic lifestyle management, and individualized medical therapy. Research investment by ICMR for menopause. The ICMR funds projects and the focus area is menopause as an aspect of women's health and aging that fits within the prioritized non-communicable disease and aging categories. The grant types are Anveshan, small extramural grants up to 2 crore for 3-year duration, and Nishchayak Anveshan, intermediate grants INR 2 to 8 crore, 4-year duration. The deadline is in March 2026. Next, what are the challenges? India's poorest women benefit less from public health programs, and because of the caste system and these have not reached the rural health women. Now, what is the future roadmap and policy recommendations for India? Declare menopause under National Health Aging Strategy. Develop national menopause guidelines. Include MHT in essential medicines list. Expand services. The model of one-stop clinics should be scaled up, reducing the need for multiple referrals. Awareness campaigns, government-led campaigns aimed at reducing the stigma around menopause, similar to menstrual hygiene initiatives, are anticipated from the government. Digital integration to reach women in rural and underserved areas. Workplace policy advocacy, menopause-friendly workplace policies, including flexible working arrangements, paid leave. Insurance coverage expansion for women over 35 to address early and premature menopause, and these women should be offered routine screenings. Thus, to summarize, India has advanced in maternal health significantly and rightly so. Now it must address midlife women's health, because midlife care is a matter of dignity, a gender justice issue, a life course, health equity issue. Menopause is the beginning of a new public health responsibility, because healthy women make healthy families and a healthy nation. Jai Hind. हम होंगे कामयाब एक दिन. Thank you.
Dr. Nilam, you have very nicely covered all the aspects. Nothing has been left over there. And last words were very nice. Healthy woman, healthy family, healthy society and the nation. Because जो मानना होता है कि नारी एक धुरी होती है घर की. अगर धुरी अच्छी है तो पूरा परिवार अच्छा है. And they'll go in a right way. This is the main pillar. And the another thing, the menopausal, whether the lady is peri or postmenopausal, whenever she comes for any problem to us, we should counsel that lady that she has to take care of herself first, then she'll look after the family. Because if she'll not look after, she'll be on the bed and the whole family will be get disturbed. So she is the dhuri, healthy nari, healthy family and the healthy nation. Thanks a lot for your
Thank you.
conversation.
Ma'am, you